Today we're still going to be working with systems of equations, but now we're going to be focusing on elimination with addition and subtraction. So I have 4 steps that you need to write down. These are the main points. First step, you'll have 2 equations. Step 1, I want you to write the equation so that the terms are aligned. This will make more sense when we actually get into solving the problem. So step 1, write it so the terms are aligned. Step 2, you're then either going to add or subtract the equations, and you're going to eliminate a variable. Step 3, you're then going to have a one-step equation. From there, you solve that equation for a variable. Step 4, once you have the answer to one of the variables, you then substitute that answer into one of the 2 equations that we previously started off with, and then you solve for the other variable. You're then going to have the 2 variables, and those are going to be your answers. So we have these 2 equations. We have 4x plus 6y is equal to 32, and we have 3x minus 6y is equal to 3. So step 1, align the variables so that the variables line up. So you notice we have the x's, then we have the y's, and then we have just like the regular numbers that don't have variables in it. These are the constants. Remember, this is in standard form, so we have the x, the y's, then we have the constants. So, step 1, align the variables. Done. Step 2, we're either going to add these or we're going to subtract them. Either add or subtract. With this, I'm going to tell you whenever, see how these, we have 6y and we have 6y. If any time that these are this different operations, then you are going to add. If they are different, you are going to add. So let's add these together. What is 4x plus 3x? That is equal to 7x. What is a positive 6x and a negative 6, or positive 6y and a negative 6y? These basically cancel out. So those are gone. Equal to, what is 32 plus 3? That is 35. Great. Now we've added these, so step 2 is done. Step 3, solve for this one-step equation. 7x is equal to 35. With this, all you got to do, divide by 7, divide by 7. X is equal to 5. Now, we have solved. We now have x is equal to 5. All that we have to do now, step 4, last step. We're going to take this x is equal to 5, and we're going to plug it into one of these 2 equations. So I'll just pick, I don't know, I'll just pick this one. I'll just pick this equation. So if we have 3 times 5 minus 6y is equal to 3. Solve these through, it'd be 15 minus 6y is equal to 3. Then we add or subtract 15 to both sides, subtract 15 to both sides. We'll then have, I'm going to move it up here so we have some more room. We have a negative 6y is equal to negative 12. Divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6. So this, y is equal to 2. Now, here we go. Step 4 is completed. Our answers, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 2. These are our 2 answers, and we are finished with the problem. Alright, so now what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video, try this one yourself. Remember, since both of these operations are the same, if they're the same, you should subtract. So you should do some subtraction here. So pause the video, try this one yourself. After you've tried it, then unpause the video to see what I have done. Okay, so we have two equations, 6x minus 3y is equal to 27, and 2x minus 3y is equal to 11. Step 1, align the variables. Well, they're aligned. We got the x's, we got the y's, and we have the constants. So, aligned, check. Step 2, since the variables have the same coefficient, and they are the same operation, we are going to subtract. So we're going to subtract for this. So we'll subtract through 6x minus 2x, you have 4x's. Now, think about why these cancel out. A negative minus a negative. That's basically, it's like we're adding the opposite. So this is like minus, or a negative 3y plus the 3y. So these cancel out. And then 27 minus 11 is 16. So step 2 is completed. Step 3, solve for our one-step equation. So we will divide by 4, those cancel out. X is equal to 4. Step 3 is completed. Step 4, all we have to do, take this x equals 4, plug it into one of these two equations. I'll just pick this one. Reason why I picked this one, 11 smaller than 27. It's the only reason. So we'll do 2 times 4 minus 3y is equal to 11. Solve these through. 8 minus 3y is equal to 11. Subtract 8 from both sides. I'm going to move this up here, a little bit more room. So you would have negative 3y is equal to 3. Divide by negative 3 on both sides. Y is equal to negative 1. So we have our answer where x is equal to 4, y is equal to negative 1. We've plugged everything in. Step 4 is completed. We have our answer, x is equal to negative 4, y is equal to negative 1. Now they might give you a word problem. They're just trying to see if you know how to write out an equation before you're trying to solve it. So we have the statements 3 times a number minus another number is negative 3. The first number plus the second number is 11. Find the numbers. So we're going to have two numbers that we're looking for. I'm just going to use x and y. So 3 times, I'm going to write the first one out. 3 times a number. So 3 times a number. X will be our first number. Minus another number. Y is our other number. Is what? It is negative 3. Good. Next step, next sentence. The first number, x, plus the second number, y, is what? 11. Alright, so this is 3x minus y is equal to negative 3. X plus y is equal to 11. Now, we have our two equations. Remember, step 1, line them up. We have our x's, we have our y's, we have our constants. With this, remember the y's, they have the same coefficient of 1. They have different operations, so we're going to add. So now what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video right here, and solve for my x and my y. Alright, now we'll add these together. Remember, this is 1x. So 3x plus 1x is equal to 4x. Our y's cancel out. And then negative 3 plus 11 is equal to 8. Step 2 was to add them or subtract them. Step 3 is to solve. So we have our one-step equation. Solve for x. X is going to equal 2. Great. Step 4. All you have to do, plug this number up into x, one of these two. I'm just going to pick this one because I really don't like working with negative numbers or subtraction. I'd rather work with addition. So I'll come up here. If we have 1 times 2 plus y is equal to 11. Solve this through. 2 plus y is equal to 11. And minus 2 on both sides. Y is equal to 9. So there we go. X is equal to 2. Y is equal to 9. Quick time for a review. Remember, I gave you steps. Use them. It'll help you. Use them when you're working on your homework. Also, when you're trying to figure out whether you're going to add or subtract, you add them when the operations are opposite. So if you have like a plus and then a minus, then you subtract when the signs are the same. Like if it's a plus and a plus or a minus and a minus. Please let me know if you have any questions. I think you all are going to do great. Good luck.